Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one between the Buffalo Bills and the Washington Redskins. With that, let's get on up to FedEx Field.
And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Buffalo Bills and the Washington Redskins. This is taken at the 3. And a good effort on the return there gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jordan. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Gun! Gun! Strong right!
Throwing on 1st down. Townsend. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
No. Check, Patriot!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 35 he goes to the 32-yard line. 2nd down, a little more productive than 1st. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
From the gun on 3rd down, Townsend. Over the middle, complete. That's Marsh. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
First trip to the red zone for the Bills. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bills have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. Leading the charge will be their quarterback, always fun to watch, Deshaun Watson.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting on a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up the touchdown.
To throw is Watson. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
Out come the Bills as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day,
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Zach Brown. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Hey, back 22.
And they'll run it here. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you. Keep it to short gains.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Bills have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
We call that a sack block.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? A shotgun snap for Watson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard. And here come the Bills. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up, whether it's on your grease board.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And fortunately, the Bills jump on it and get it back. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Townsend. And that'll be incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it.
All right, now, look at 56.
Off play action. Townsend sliding out of the pocket. Now he's going to throw it deep to the up. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Green the line! Green the line!
After the interception, here's Watson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
23 yards on the play.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Watson on 1st down. Over the middle, it's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in.
Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. To the air yet again, Watson. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Now it's Watson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
That's caught at the 25. A big play here for Buffalo. 41 yards. So a big pickup that time. And Charles, defending AFC Player of the Week, maybe bucking towards another award this week.
Yeah, and they say they don't really care about the individual awards. You and I both know
they do.
It means a lot to them. It means respect around the league. And if he's able to show those kind of hands all game long, he can win a second one.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Marsh. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Operating from the gun, Townsend. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. In for the score. And the Bills will extend their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now they try the right side here. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Back 22!
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
That one goes for 24 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
On first down, Drake, and he'll only get a yard, maybe two, up to the 46. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Looking to throw. Townsend. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. He's going to let this one go deep. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play for the Bills on third down. 42 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Preston Smith in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Let's go! Let's go!
Throwing on third and long. Townsend. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now the field goal team on for Buffalo. From the right hash, this from 33. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, here's Watson. And his pass incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard.
Green the line! Green the line!
Watson on third down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. As they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's Tressway now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. To throw on second down, Townsend. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. The Bills on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is third down and 12. From the gun, Townsend. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on fourth down. A final shot before break. Townsend going for the deep ball. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of
try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Down! Black 22! Black 22!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
To throw on second is Watson. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. Here's Powell. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. Well, that 2nd down run a big help. The 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On 3rd down. It's Powell, and this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good, and that drops the deficit from 28 to 25. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag? You just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They built a good 1st half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice 1st half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now a play fake here on 1st down. On the crossing route, complete. It's Jordan. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st and 10, Townsend. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jordan. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Now let's go. 3-19.
Operating from the gun. Townsend. This is caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. From the gun, Townsend. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Looking to throw on second down. Townsend. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bills continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want a drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right?
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to throw. Townsend.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here.
4 down. Detroit! Detroit! 50's the mic. 50's the mic.
Operating from the gun. Townsend. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th. How about the defensive stand here from 1st and goal, 3 straight incompletion?
Yeah, I think people are wondering why didn't they try and run it at least once in there. But once the first incompletion happened, it's almost like they were committed to throwing the ball from then on out.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw...
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
His throw caught right around the 6. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people are thinking about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Looking to throw. Townsend. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. In for the score. And the Bills use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here's Watson. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 6 of his throws on this drive. Watson looks to throw again. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Dixon. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
Blue 80! Blue 80!
They get it to him running left. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Can see this quite a bit on running plays when the guy's out wide. A lot of times, though, doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coached some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. I don't want to take that course.
So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown.
Down! Back 22!
Out of the gun, Watson. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Off the play fake. Townsend. Wide open receiver complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. To 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Bills passing game, getting them down the field. They've got another 1st down. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Buffalo, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Oakland to take on the Raiders.